Hi fam, my name is Vuvu. If you are new on here, please consider... Hi fam, my name is Vuvu. If you are new on here, please consider pressing that red subscribe button down below and joining the family. If you are an oldie, a member of the fam, welcome back fam, and thank you for joining me once again. On today's video, I'm here to share all the books that I managed to read in the month. In the month of January. If you are interested in hearing my thoughts on the books that I managed to read in January, please do stay tuned. So Vena _reads is an amazing book reviewer, also YouTuber. She reviews books on YouTube, and if I'm not mistaken, she also has a blog as well. So please, if for your connection with literature, get in touch with or follow at VUVUVENA_reads. She is based in South Africa, and I think it is also extremely important to follow literary content creators who are based outside of the West and in continental Africa, because they do a really good job of bridging the gap.
We appreciate you, Vuvu, for bringing us Turning Pages and for bringing us your BookTube channel.
You know, this is a chance for people to actually see some people that I really enjoy.
Please consider pressing the red subscribe button down below, and if you are returning, welcome back fam.
Vuvu, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
So on my pile of books that I managed to read in January, I've only got one physical book. So I'm like, this is my January actually, okay? January actually. So unlike previously where I have a whole lot of physical books that I managed to get through, January just kept giving, okay, when it came to digital books. And I will start with the physical book, and then everything else will be the digitals. It will make it that much easier for all of us. This year I'm only rating books on my Storygraph, and during the month actually videos, I will only be telling you what I thought about the books and whether or not I liked it, loved it, or it really wasn't for me. Okay, that's kind of like what my criteria is going to be, because I find that telling you guys that this is a 5-star does kind of set a certain expectation. Even if I tell you guys it was a 3-star or 2-star, and you feel like, oh, okay, she might not have liked it, so maybe I'm not gonna like it. Sometimes I like a book and I can still rate it 3. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, just decided to get the housekeeping out of the way. Okay, so the book that I actually picked up, we have here Miss Olivia Blake, whom I love ever so dearly, and the book that I read from her this time around is called Masters of Death. This is a hard one to talk about. This is a very complicated book. This book follows Death and his godson Fox, right? And the names are exactly what you think. So it's a cunning fox and it's actual Death. Death has gone missing to me, right? And Fox is now being elicited by a bunch of supernatural beings, angels, demons, all the works, okay? To kind of find Death and find out what happened to him. However, there is a game that the supernaturals play. If you know the book, you know exactly what I was like. Anyway, they play this game. It's a gambling game, right? And I think Death is always at the head of the table in this game, and he bargains with people. Well, human beings come play it. He bargains your most treasured thing, basically, for you to part with and give to him in order for you to if you lose the game. I don't know if it's worth explaining this story, or if I should actually be telling you guys what the gist is, right? The gist of this book is basically questioning what we believe about life and death, what we believe about life and death as human beings, as in our physical existence, as well as what we believe about life and death in how we view the world, in how we think about the world, in what we think about things, and how we make our decisions, the life and death of an actual decision, not whether or not a decision will lead to life or death. It also explores a lot of themes around relationships, so whether it's platonic, whether it's familial relationships, and whether or not it is romantic relationships. It does have some queer representation in it. As always, Olivia brings it with how she writes these phenomenal books, in the sense that the language is the thing that triggers you to think harder about what you are reading. And how she comes up with these characters, I do not even know, because this is a mixed bag of really very strange characters that actually work, and I don't know how she did that. I really don't know how she did that. I did listen to this one via audio as well. The audio is available on Everand, and the narrator, give that person what they deserve, okay, because they did such a great job. It is very atmospheric. It also brings out the quirkiness of these characters so very well. Absolutely loved this book a lot, and like, I feel like every time you see me holding an Olivia Blake book, you must know I'm in love. I'm just in love. I loved this one a lot. Don't be deterred by just how strange the story is. Then I picked up a kids book. I don't review kids books on here anymore, but I will put it up here. The kids book that I picked up is called Millie Magnus Won't Be Bullied by Brittany Mazik, and we read it with the kids on one of our trips via audio. We enjoyed it quite a bit, and that's the only kids book that I picked up. So beginning of the year, I picked up The Single Dad Club by South African author Therese Bahari, and in this one we follow our main male lead, who is a single father who found himself having a child after a one-night stand, and then we follow the female lead, who comes from a very controversial family, who's trying to start out her life in a little town just outside of Cape Town. Their lives happen to collide, and through their lives colliding, they learn how deserving of love they both are. It is a romance. Absolutely enjoyed the characters in this book, not necessarily the pacing of the actual story. It is a slow burn, but it was not a bad slow burn. I just feel like I did want a little bit more, but the characters were giving. I absolutely enjoyed them. Then I picked up Kerry Maliskalko's, I'm rushing because the battery always does this to me, Niskalko's second book in the Prince of Sin series, which is the Throne of Secrets. In Throne of Secrets we follow Prince Envy. This one is Prince Gluttony. This one is kind of modeled around the Cinderella fairy tale, and it is a sort of retelling in the sense that Gluttony's love interest is a type of Cinderella in the story, and Gluttony is a type of Prince Charming. However, the twists and the turns that she brings into this book as to why these people can't be together and what happened is a whole fusion of strange, intriguing, well, I don't want to say mythical, but mythical and obviously fantastical occurrences that do keep you glued on the page. The spice is spicing. Kerry does bring the spice, in case you're wondering. So this is kind of like a romantasy of sorts. Absolutely love what she's doing with the series. I can't wait to pick up the third book in the series. I loved this one. And then I picked up Quicksilver. I can't believe this battery in jealous, because what a man. Kingfisher, guys. Yeah, Kingfisher. Okay, absolutely loved. So Quicksilver, the first book in the Fae and Alchemy series by Kelly Hart. Here we follow Kingfisher, who's kind of like the reject of the supernatural beings realm, and we follow Sarah, who is a rebel in the human realms, and the human realms seem to be governed by somebody who is not who they turn out to be. So deceptive leader, and it looks like it's set in a dystopian world where Sarah I'll call her S from now on. Where S and her brother are in the worst kind of the dystopian section, and they are orphans. So S decides to take matters into her own hands, ends up in the palace the one time, and in her doing so, she discovers a certain power that she has, and she gets stuck in a predicament that makes it so that the likes of Kingfisher come to rescue her and transport her, teleport her to a different realm. In this realm, she's kept captive basically until she does the bidding of the land to help save certain parts of this land from disaster. And during this team kind of effort between her and Kingfisher, obviously a love story ensues, and we get to figure out whether or not she should be leaving this fairyland for the human realms again, or is she bound to stay there because of love or other reasons. Absolutely love what Kelly Hart did with this book. I enjoyed it a lot. I can safely even say that it was my favorite book from January. And then I proceeded to read the Twisted series by the Twisted series. Even I might be saying the wrong thing. Okay, let's see. Yes, the Twisted series by Anna Huang, by Anna Huang, and that is Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate. They're all romance books told from the perspective of a group of friends. I can just sum up those three because I don't think that they really need individual I don't really think that they need individual reviews. I enjoyed the series for what it was, which is a romance, kind of like a contemporary romance series where we find oddly matched couples and why they end up working. There's a lot of smut in this one. In case you need forewarning for that, there is quite a bit of smut. There are also some strange kinks. I will say that the last couple, I don't know if I really enjoyed their smut as much, in the sense of the power play, the power dynamics in it. However, the story is very warm. For all three couples, it's very warm, it's very endearing, it's very, there are topical things that are quite thought-provoking as well. I liked it. I didn't love it, I wasn't crazy about it, but I did enjoy the experience of reading these books. I did listen to them via Everand. Quicksilver, I read it from my Kindle, and I had an Audible audio accompany it. And then what other book did I mention? I don't think I told you how I consumed. Okay, and Throne of Secrets I listened to and read on my, I listened to it on Libby. And remember, I keep telling you guys that I do have access to an international Libby through a friend of mine, and I also read it via my Kindle. So those are the books that I managed to read in the month of January. Have you read any of these? If so, please do let me know in the comment section. And to end things off, because we ended up with the Twisted series, I think there's that strange like DNA type emoji. Yeah, I think so. Like, it's a twist though. You when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's some scientific DNA thing. But if you've made it to this point, please drop me that emoji in the comment section. Otherwise, until next time, I truly do love you guys for choosing me. Bye for now.